And there we are. There we are. We are live. What's up, dudes? We got Ferd, we got Retro, we got Electro Omega, Hit Metal Works, Graphite Guitars, Zach H. Strat CPU, Joe Hurley, and Sean McCartney. We got Combs. Got Trolls, Music Sound Gear, got Mad, Noise, Coots, Terry 3Gs, Tactical 6-string, all the normals, or not so normals. What's up, Deanna? Or Deanna. Larry. Tim. Matt. And of course, Trollo and Scott and Gary Davlin. What's up, buddy? Yeah, you found the bell. Found the shame bell. Shame. Every time we do the bell. What's up, David? What's up, John? What's up, Judge Shred? What's up, Dan? What's up, Ben? Jimmy P. Crag Smash. Ogre Lord. Ben. Christy. Strat Tom. Who you calling normal? Exactly. Nelson Rodriguez. What's up, buddy? Lady Faye. David Lockwood. Yeti Moxie. Exactly, now we have a shame and a bell. Tactical says, I forgot about the great Vola prices. In addition to those prices, if you want to, grab a quick pencil or a pen, or just use your brain to remember this, or maybe one of the mods can throw it up in the chat group here, but I reached out to the Volas, and the code for an extra 5% off of even their new low pricing structure, which is like, 80% off of their old prices? So if you want even an extra 5% off of that, the code is SFB5. It's pretty easy, right? SFB5. SFB5. If you enter that special code in your checkout, you should get an additional 5% off, which, might cover your tax or something like that. And, you know what? When it comes to money off, more is more. So, huge change to this guitar. You wouldn't notice it just by looking at it, but I changed my volume knob out to a zero friction. I am just such a huge fan of the zero friction. And although the knob in it wasn't, too bad, it was hardly a zero friction. It's a nice knob. There's a nice pot in there, nice potentiometer. But, high quality, but it was, it had a little bit of friction to it. And I like them like absolutely nothing. And the company that makes that is Borns. And I had a whole drawer full of them, so I said, you know what? Let me get out the soldering iron and just throw one in here. And I did. I threw in a new pot right there. And God, it's so huge. It's so huge. Yeah, Borns. Well, it's just so uber affordable. I think I need another. Oh, speaking of that, I might as well give you I have a little bit of a Vola update. In addition to the Vola code, again, that's SFB5 for an additional 5% off. And in addition to putting the new pot in, they're going to send me, I think I told you either last week or the week before, they're going to send me a couple of guitars. They're going to send me a, I think it's the CC, not the MC. This is the MC neck, which is the modern carve. And they're going to send me a CC, which is the classic carve. And it's not a reverse headstock. I'm like, geez, all the guitars I have here are reverse headstocks. I think some people wouldn't mind seeing just like a regular headstock. So they said, okay. So I'm going to get one with the regular headstock, and it's not roasted, and it's just like it's that one that sells for like $839, right? It's like they're probably under $800 if you use the 5% off code. So one of those, and he was going to send a Joss Allen because it was a blem that they had. He's like, you want a Joss Allen blem? I was like, sure. But they actually sold it. So they said they're going to send, I think, a TNC, which is sort of like a flagship of the Oz line. So it'll have, much like the blue one I have, it'll have, instead of an ash top, I think it's a flame top, but it'll have the clear pick guard, and like their special pickups and some like extra special stuff, and we'll go through it when I get it. And that has the MC carve on the neck, and roasted too. So, right, so like very similar to what the Joss Allen was for spec, but there you go. TNC is the correct answer. But you know what? We could just look them up real quick. What are we doing? Like we could imagine in our brains. In fact, there it is, right on the main page, right on the old main pager. All right, I said I send a blue or send a brown if and you can. So the Oz, yeah, the TNC. So I'm gonna send over one of these right there, TNC, and I think the other one was a CC right there in the Cobra Blue Gloss. One of those. So one of those should be here in a week or so. They were delayed a week due to travel, but they should be back to normal schedule. I like the blue. I'm going blue. Yeah, blue all day. What are we even talking there? Anyway, there you are. No more Blaze X models? No. They're not going to do it. You know what? I think they felt that the Blaze shape was too close to other brands like ESP and Schecter and maybe even Ibanez, right? Just a little, wasn't distinctive enough. I think they're all in on like the Oz and the Vasti and the Aries and the Sig models. But it looks like they've gotten rid of the Blaze. The whole Blaze thing is over. It's over. Do they do EMGs? They do not. But, you know, never stopped an EMG owner from throwing a set in, right? I want the Blaze X any carved tip models other than the Blaze. I don't think so. No, I think the window for the Blaze has, I think they, 99% sure they're over. Yeah, well, the Blaze XE, no products. No products, it's over. They got a few Lunas and the Aries, which is a gorgeous guitar. I mean, my God. You know, $15.99, $13.99 for the Poplar top. Nice top there, Poplar. Oh, that's, tell you, when you see these in person, they're freaking gorgeous. I remember the first time I saw this green one, and I'm pretty sure Yeah, it was. This is the one I had here. This is literally because it was the one. This is like one of the first ones they did. This is why they have the shots of it. And this one made the rounds. If you look at a lot of YouTubers, they have this one. And how I know it is this one is that green patch right by the neck. That little green patch followed by the like yellow patch at the outside where that, right, it's kind of like a little round right there. That's how I know. That was the guitar that sort of went around. It's a different guitar, actually. That's the one right there. In fact, you can even see there's a little groove inside that patch. And right there. There it is. That's the guitar. In person, those guitars are stunning. And I like the open pore. It was a good looking guitar. Down $13.99. Those things are like 2 G's. Listeners to you, Yankee Peace, across the pond in Glasgow. 10 past midnight, yeah. The Stoner Shark Blue. Yeah. Yeah, Stoner Shark is one of a kind. And Inkblot, yeah, what do you see? Another high shark? It's all high sharks, dude. It's all high sharks these days. I see inebriated sharks everywhere. Telling you, I'm loving this guitar since it's changing the spot out. Just working it, wow, 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 like a ninja. So it's friggin' cold here. We were 92, 93 degrees yesterday. And today we're 48 degrees. For my Celsius people, that's like, I don't know, like 33 to 9 in one day. That's the daytime high. This day, it's 33. The next day, 9. That's because we, it goes to show you what happens when the wind shifts this time of year. Winds out of the south, really out of the west. When the winds are out of the west, scraping over the land and doesn't really go over the water much. We're in the 90s. And then we had a low develop over the ocean that's dragging air in across the ocean when the ocean is pretty cold. And it's dragging it from the northeast direction, which is also fairly cold. So, between those two, I know it's an outdoor graduation tomorrow. They're already saying, and it's going to be rainy. And we are, it's that time of year where we get into patterns. So we had like this really rainy pattern for a while. And then we were in a clear pattern for like 2 weeks, right? Like serious, almost like starting a drought again, just sunshine and, clear blue skies for like 2 straight weeks. And right now the forecast is rain every day for the next week because we're stuck in another pattern. And it's unlikely to break for at least another 7 days. So, yeah. Gonna be. I already covered the trailer in a tarp because I knew it was gonna be rainy all week. Well, that is good. It is good coffee. Now I'll bet out in western part of, the center of the country or the West, I'll bet there's warmth like punching up into Canada, because that's usually what happens, right? A bunch of warmth in the middle of the country or on the West punches way up into Canada, and that pushes the cold air down, and now the cold air comes down on us, right? And vice versa, right? When it's cold in the East, it's warm in the Midwest or the West, or when it's hot in the East, it's usually cold in the Midwest or the West, right? In fact, we got a low spinning out over the ocean. It's kind of stuck there. That's why we're stuck in this pattern, because lows spin counterclockwise. Why do they spin counterclockwise? Because they have the Coriolis effect, and in the northern hemisphere they spin counterclockwise, in the southern hemisphere they spin clockwise, just like everything else in those hemispheres. Fun fact: there's no spinning at the equator because the Coriolis effect doesn't really work there. So there are no hurricanes at the equator, no big storms like that. You gotta be away from it to get enough rotation going to really, because the rotation makes for more. As you rotate the air, it spreads out and the pressure gets even lower, right? And that feeds it even more because it draws in lower pressure, draws in more air from the outside that wants to get in, but it's rotating and it's spreading out, and all that. Exactly, it's a spin-free zone. Have you been to Music Go Round in Natick lately? As a matter of fact, I have. I was just there yesterday, as a matter of fact. In fact, hooked up with speaker. So we had he wanted to come over and go out to Natick and check out, what they had for used stock at Guitar Center and at Music Go Round. I said, all right. So he came out like late Friday morning, and we got out to Guitar Center. They had a few things. There was nothing really too cool at Guitar Center that we were looking at that was really popping out at us. They might have had like one Les Paul Special, I think, or a Les Paul Jr. I think it was Les Paul Special. It looked kind of cool. But other than that, it was kind of blah. There was nothing there that was like, oh wow, look, check out this guitar. They had a 61 reissue SG that he thought looked pretty good, but I was like, meh, it looks pretty average. I don't see anything special about it. So we wound up leaving there, and we went over to Music Go Round. And what was funny is because when we were at Guitar Center, there was this like other dude playing guitar, and I was showing him the Katana, and this dude kept like turning up. And finally, they said something to him like, "Dudes, if you keep turning up, they're gonna keep turning up. Stop turning up." And they're not to us, to him, and because literally we couldn't hear the friggin' amp. This guy like turned up so friggin' loud, and the speaker is checking out like the Katana Mark II, like 212, which I have to say, we were going through some of those settings. They sounded pretty damn good. It's got the built-in effects, and it's kind of a fun amp. Anyway, although I told him, you almost better to buy two 100s and make a stereo, because then it'll be true stereo. Rather than a 212, because it's not a stereo amp if it just has 212 speakers. I don't believe it has two amps in it. You have to get the full true stereo effect, you literally have to have two amps, so why not just get two 100s? It'd be a better, with the 212s. Because the feature, he's like, well, I could get the 50, it doesn't have the feature on the 50. Got to get the 100 to get the feature. So we checked out a few things there. We wound up getting out of there and getting some lunch and then going over to Music Go Round. So we get into Music Go Round, we go in there, and there's some dudes off in the corner, but we go in like around the other side, and we go down to the back and we're looking at the guitars, and there's a couple of dudes playing, and I go, I recognize those shitty riffs anywhere. That's that dude. That's that dude from Guitar Center. He goes, you think so? I go, I know that. I'm telling you right now. I'm hearing those riffs. I know those riffs. That's him. And he looks over and he goes, oh my God, it is him. I say, I know those shitty riffs anywhere. His repertoire was pretty small. It's fairly. Then there was two dudes in there that seemingly were trying to start a blues jam band. I was like, huh. Hey, this is why I can't work in a music store. You can never work in a music store. Because, you got dudes that just want to come in and, just sit there and go. Now you go. You're like, we're a store. We're not. What are you doing? God. People. Exactly. My riff identity is more accurate than a goddamn DNA test. I was like, oh, look who's here. That happened at NAMM. There was this chick who was like blowing up on Instagram and was doing this like funk guitar, and we were talking about it with Robert Baker, and we were at NAMM, and all of a sudden we hear this thing. I look up, I go, that's her. And we look over, and he goes, oh my God, it is her. I'm telling you right now. Oh, I know that riff. I can hear it. Oh, man. It's funny. I didn't see her. She was a pretty good funk player, actually. Again, it was kind of the same repertoire, kind of like me. I mean, not that I have a huge repertoire, but you know what I'm saying. You know them. After a long time, you sort of know the same riffs. Once had a cool jam session with the bass player once, yeah. A lot of the you probably think so. The management may have a different opinion. I remember one time I had these. I remember. Oh my God. I shut this shit right down. I'm up in the front area, and I could see right down the staircase right into the parking lot. And I see this woman pull up in a goddamn like Volvo station wagon. And she lets like 3 kids out of the station wagon. She goes, okay, I'll be back after I go to the shopping. And she takes off, and they all come running in. I'm like, yeah, I don't think so. This isn't a playground. Yeah, I don't think so. Like, I'll drop you off at the music store. You guys hang out there for a couple of hours. And so I had a rule with them that only one of them could play at a time. Then I pitted them against each other. And they started infighting because no one could check out a guitar unless one of them was stop playing the guitar. So they would start shutting each other down. Dude, stop. I want to check out this guitar. I just was like, it worked out. If you go to Music Go Round on a Saturday, I guarantee you hear some idiot playing at full volume. They will buy nothing. Oh, I guarantee it. We used to have them at the music store like on a regular basis. Like, now I'm here to rock out the music store and Sure. You know what it is? They're like, you know what? I can't turn up this loud at home, so now I'm going to come to the music store and turn up loud here. No, you're not. Exactly. It's like music store daycare. And we needed to charge an entry fee. Plus a play-by-the-minute fee. It's only $1 a minute. How many do you want to try out? I'm going to need 50 up front, or 60 for the next hour. Exactly, 3-drink minimum. So we looked at a few guitars. I'll tell you, they had one guitar there worth buying. It was, I believe it was a Squier Contemporary Strat. It was in this gorgeous, like, pearl white with a matching pearl white headstock. And when I picked it up, the guitar was like $250, $270. And when I picked it up and I handed the speaker, I go, this is the best guitar we've seen in this friggin' place. I mean, for the money, you know. I'm sure some of these other guitars are gorgeous, but they're very expensive. For the money they're asking for this is like the best value in here. You know? It's like a quarter operated amps. See, that's where I almost feel like they need something a little more contrasty than the black. See, the black doesn't really pop on the side. It's hard to see the markers. It's like they roasted the neck so dark. But, you know, they almost could go with a light side dot and inlay. What do you think of Mammoth? You know, I haven't heard much of them, but they certainly sound like a good band. It's certainly a very talented band. I feel like I'm out slightly now, a little bit. Maybe right there, just a hair. There you go. There's a hair. And that's in. Yeah, there we go. Hold on. Yeah, try the fret stickers tactical. Maybe do something a little glow in the dark. I'll do it. Don't tempt me. Put some glowies in there. I don't think I'd pull them out. I'd probably just stick something on. But I would worry that I'd feel it as I go up and down the neck, and that, you know, some of them would stay on. I'd only do the side dots. I wouldn't do the front. I only need the side dots. You know. Glow in the dark nail polish. So I probably need something temporary. I did not see Steel Panther on America's Got Talent. But I can imagine it could be a little awkward. Yeah, blacklight optional. Exactly. Yeah, I use big block stickers. So what else this week? Well, you know what? A speaker. We'll talk about the main headline, which is the ones that got away. Speaker, you know, he's on a little bit of a hunt. I think he's at a graduation tonight. So he's not in the chat, but he was on a little bit of a hunt. to find a guitar. He was intrigued by the whole mod shop, concept, the concept of the mod shop guitar. And so, I think he set up to maybe get alerts or something, but I told him, I said, you're going to have to really, you might even have to get like a bot or something to check for when this page changes, because, it's very difficult to get some of these. I'm sure somebody out there is operating with a bot to see when the page changes, and when it does, it just alerts the person that there's been a change on the page. Because they seem to sell nearly instantly. And so he is, as you know, the last time we were here, he was looking at in fact, I can probably call it up here. Might as well do that, just to refresh everybody's memory where we were a week ago. And that is, speaker was out looking at guitars, and he had picked that up, right? We wound up returning it because it didn't have the certificate of authenticity. It didn't have the breakdown of the mods. It didn't have the case. All things that we know were a part of the sale, because that exact guitar, not one like it, literally the same serial number, sold on Reverb like a year ago, and it came with all that. But by the time it gets filtered through Guitar Center, it didn't have any of that, and he didn't want it without the, if you're buying it as a collectible, you need the provenance, or else collectors aren't interested. He didn't want it as a player's guitar. He wanted it as a collector's guitar. So I was kind of with him on it, Without that stuff, it really kind of loses a lot of its value. In the meantime, Gibson puts this out. Of course, it's gone. But this comes out. This gorgeous hunk of man meat right here. Look at this thing. That is same guitar, special. Same thing, dot inlays, binding on the neck and everything. But I have to say, it comes with the mini humbuckers. And I just love the color on it. Just this whole thing. And it's smitten, right? Just really a good-looking friggin' guitar right there. And but of course it's already sold, because it says notify me when it's in stock. So when you see notify me when it's in stock, it means it's already gone. You would have to be add to cart. It's never going to be in stock. It's a one-off, right? This is just how their system acts when a product is sold out. But it's never coming back in stock, ever. You wonder how many they get. But it's never going to be in stock. That is a gorgeous guitar, though. Look at that. It's in, is it Cosmo Blue? What's the blue? Dark Star? Dark Star Blue. Oh, my God. I'm just saying. I think it moved. Look at that thing. It's but it was long gone. So anyway, so he's looking, and there's another one up there, and the other one is this. This was the thumbnail. I can't even impart to you how gorgeous this friggin' guitar is. It's in a special metallic black. I think it was just so gorgeous with it. Again, already gone, so he can't get it, but it is just such a beautiful finish. Such a gorgeous guitar. I mean, look at that thing. A note to Gibson. Do a run of these. Do a run for Sweetwater. Do a run for Guitar Center. You got a buyer. Look at this thing. That is one sexy guitar right there. I love the black. I like the cream. I like everything about it. I like the antique knob. God, nice knobs. But I just love it. It's a custom color, right? And so they do it on this, and I think they did one left-handed. But yeah, I really love that color. So unfortunately, again, gone. And that's about what they go. Now Les Paul Standard 50s is now $29.99. There's no upcharge on that color. You know, it's pretty. That's the color. This one is a slight upcharge. Yeah, $100 upcharge. And this one is in stock. You know, you get the blood orange if you want, which has this wonderful headstock. You know, that's not gonna lie. That's pretty nice. Sexy stripe right there. So he was looking at that one too, but I think the other one was, I think, just a little nicer. Oh, that is pretty good. I wish it had the ring. I like that it doesn't have the pickguard though. It's a nice dark fretboard on that too. Look at that. That's beautiful. Yeah, with the stinger. Yeah, and the blood orange. I mean, it's nice, and it's only $100 over if you went to go buy a regular 50s. All right, the 50s are now $29.99, so that's $30.99, $100 over. I gotta say, it's a good looking guitar. Oh, that's a good looking guitar right there. That's nice. Oh yeah, let's check out the back here. Oh yeah. Oh Jesus. I'm not gonna lie, it's kind of looking good. So is it a black neck with a see-through back? Kind of hard to see. Is that black? And this is right, the 50s back. I don't know. Right, looks two different colors maybe, or maybe right there you can kind of see. Maybe it is the same dark red. I don't know. It's a good look though. Not gonna lie. Kind of liking it. Got a little wonkiness right here. And a little wonkiness right there. But still not bad. Kind of like. I'd hit it. E-cars that color Ripley. Speaking of Ripley, that's what Speaker wants. He goes, can we find one? He wants a Ripley. Yeah. Yeah. Remember them? I remember. It's a lot of knobs, right? Had the piezo pickup, and the Bartolini. Yeah, the Ripley. Pretty rare. Pretty rare. It's actually kind of cheap, $14.99. I think they're going all over $2,000. They don't show you when it ended now, so it probably ended a long time ago. The piezo, exactly, and the piezo, both of them. It's got the potato and the potato. It's got the solder and the solder. It's both on a schedule and a schedule. It's a lot of knobs. Oh yeah, God, it's good. Coffee, the coffee is good. So let's just take a vote. Remember, we're spending Speaker's money here, right? We're spending Speaker. We're not spending my money. We're spending his money. So just vote your heart. But if you wanted to see, let's just say, and I'm just throwing this out there, this guitar here on the channel. I mean, you voting that a thumbs up or a thumbs down? You know, do we yes, just a Y for yes, N for no? Are we Do we want this guitar here to check out, knowing that it can't be returned and it's a one-way street, and no matter how much he hates it, he'll always be stuck with it. Can never, ever, ever do anything. I'm seeing a I'm seeing a lot of yeses here. Yeah, can I add a poll real quick? I haven't engaged with my, start a poll. Holy Christ. Jesus. I'm seeing a lot of thumbs up. I'm seeing a lot of yeses. It's an overpriced repaint. It's only $100 more. $100 is on a $3,000 guitar. I mean, I'm no mathematician here, but I could just very quickly calculate, let's just say if we take 100, we divide that by 3,000, it's 0.03. It's a fairly low upcharge. He hates it, he can send it to you, Deanna. He could sell it, it would go up in value. I wonder if it would. I wonder if it, just, for being, you never know. It just depends on how it strikes people. I think that one in the midnight black, I'm saying yes. This one? Yeah. I mean, you'd be stupid not to buy that. This one, this one's a lot more conservative. I think it has a much wider appeal to an older and more disposable income market. Where this one, maybe not so much, right? You gotta be careful. You don't want to get something that's just so over the top. You can't find a market for it. If you fall out of love with it. Though I will say, like you say, that Stinger goes a long way to making a sale. It's not gonna lie, it's a good looking attribute, and it really works with the other color. It's sort of like a gold cap caramel. Like you go to a fancy restaurant and they bring out the caramels and it's got like a leaf of gold on the top. I'm sure you guys can relate. When they do that. Call it Lambo Orange. I think it's been done. Isn't that what Schecter calls theirs? The headstock is a reduction that's drizzled onto the neck. Nice. Now you're talking. So Sean sees 1970s Formica. You know what? You might be onto something there, right? Yeah. See, there's the risk. Versus, say, something like that, which is just a classic metallic, gray with, again, a lot more conservative. I think a much easier resale if you don't like it. Same with this one, for that matter. I think it's a lot easier to sell that guitar than maybe it is to sell this guitar. Which is why it hasn't sold yet, right? Which is why, this guitar sold in a nanosecond along with the other one, and this one's still available for sale. Sometimes the market is it's telling you something right in your face. You got to recognize the signals there. So that is a gorgeous guitar, though, huh? Look at that thing. I'm sure it's, it's 90% of photography, but I'm just saying, in terms of like, a fashion accessory, it's quite stunning. Which at the end of the day, isn't that what most guitars are? Between humbuckers and single coils, it's basically a fashion accessory. You have like 2 or 3 styles of guitar, and that's about it. Okay, deal with it. like the counter and the cabinet combo from your 4th grade room. Yeah. Yeah, I love the black one too. That's the one. That's the one. Is this one? God, it's gorgeous. It's already sold, and it's a one-off, so you're not getting. That's the one. I remember I was staring at this last night, going, my girl, come on, Gibson. Listen to your audience. At least one dude. I'm telling you. Make that a Sweetwater run. Make that a friggin', Guitar Center run. One-off run. Where, you only produce like a couple of thousand. But they're out there. Exactly right. The charcoal sparkle. I think that's, they could call it charcoal. I mean, it writes itself. Oh, God. And the gold and the cream and the charcoal and the neck and it's all lines, simple lines weaving in a cosmic ballet. Exactly. The neck pickup starts the fire, but the zebra pickup just sets the whole thing off. Kaboom, kapow, pow, pow, pow. Pow, pow, pow. 8 mismatched pickups, how dare you? Then I guess you hate Jimmy Page. I'm glad you could admit that now. Love the black Les Paul, the blue SG, but not the orange Les Paul. Yeah, see, the market doesn't like it either. That's why it's still up there. That's why I'd be hesitant to get it, A little bit. Versus those other two, which I just think infinitely easier sale. Should you fall out of love. You dare. How dare you? Where's my cat? Get him, cutie. Do-do-do. So Thunderfoot Power raises a good point. I thought I recognized that color. That's right. By the modern Les Paul, it comes in that black graphite. And correct me if I'm wrong on this, it probably also comes with an ebony fretboard, right? Because the moderns, am I wrong on that? Ebony on the modern, not rosewood. And maybe, is it 24 frets? Might be. Could be. 24 for, I think so. Yeah, let's go to modern. It's modern. Oh yeah, the graphite top. You know what I don't like about it, dude? What are you doing with that back? What the hell is that? It's a modern guitar and you have a natural wood looking back like that. Just paint it black. It would have looked infinitely better. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if I'm crazy about that heel either. I'm sure it's awesome, but apparently I'm a bit of a traditionalist. Apparently. You know what I'm saying? It feels like it doesn't feel right. It feels like a mismatch. Feels like a mismatch. It pops, but it pops too much. And it's got a pick guard. And you know what? No. Compared to this, come on. That is elegance defined. Like the sweetest caviar off of an ivory spoon. Off by a half step. A 25% increase since COVID. What, for the Gibson? I think your math is wrong. It went from $24.99 to $29.99. That would be 1/5. It'd be a $500 increase. That would make it a 20% increase. That's just math. Not 25. 20 is the correct answer. Meanwhile, the Volas are going down. 3,100, $29.99 here. Where are you, in Canada? You up in Canada? Yeah, 19%. Come on. All right, so what else do I got going on this week? Trailer update? You guys ready for trailer update? Is it trailer update time? Trailer update, trailer. That's the new trailer song. All right, hold on. Let me close some of these out so we'll free up a little bit of RAM space. Then I'll call up I'll call up some photographs. All right. Let me just get back to around right there. Okay. All right, so there we go. Hello. So there is, as you can see, I am wiring it up, getting the wires wired, and we're running them down there, getting them in there. You can see them down in there. There's actually like a little space to run it, little holes in all the bars and everything to run the wiring down on the sides, which is what I did. This is tying in the front light. You take the constant bulb and you work it in with that. The rears, I didn't use these. The rears I soldered in and shrink wrapped. Again, there's the other side. And then you can see I have a hole right here, which I'm going to plan to use as my ground. Kind of, I'll get that going. And then there you go. You can see I get the, I'm wiring the wires, and they're getting wired. All right. After I do that, I get it all in there, get it going. The last thing I have to do is add the ground. So you remember I showed you that little hole that I had underneath there. I went under there with a, I had to use the flap disc and the grinding wheel, and just grind this down a little bit right here, get down a bare metal, and then add the ground. And it worked perfectly because using I have a multimeter that has a continuity tester, which basically lights a light and emits a beep if you can complete a circuit. And when I stuck the one side into the negative on the prong in the front, I could pretty much tap anywhere there was bare metal, and beep, beep, the whole trailer was live, right, through the negative. So it worked out great. So I wind up, I say, I'm gonna try out my new lights. So I take the SUV, I spin it around, I back it in, and I plug it in, and they all light up and look gorgeous. I don't think I took a photo, but I'll show you the lights. Maybe right here. Yeah. And they all light up, and you can see I have an amber light here, an amber light there, tail light, and a tail light. And this light, and this light lit up and worked perfectly. But this light was dead. And I was like, huh, that's a little weird. Weird that on this trunk, this would light up, but this one wouldn't light up. So it was either going to be a bad fixture, or I wasn't getting power back there. And what I wound up doing was, the speaker came over, and when he was here, before we left to go on our little adventure there, I cut the line down there. I have plenty of slack in there to move it around. So I cut the line down at the end, and using the continuity tester, we realized that we were getting plenty of juice to that back, no problem at all. So we pulled the light, fixture off, and using a 9-volt battery instead of a 12-volt, you can still test. We had a 9-volt battery right there. Using the 9-volt, actually not right there, it took a second to find one, but I got a 9-volt battery, and using the 9-volt battery, we were able to test it, and they were both glowing, right? Under 9 volts, they glow very soft like an Edison light, but, you can see that the circuit's completed and it's actually glowing. So that really left only one possible problem, and that was it wasn't grounding out to the chassis. And so, sure enough, I had used too much paint on the mount, right, on the mounting plate. And it wasn't getting any contact to the frame to ground out. And using just a little jumper, we were able to very quickly ground it out, and it lit right up as soon as we did that. So, okay. And actually, Speaker did it because he does this a lot at his work. He goes, we have to grind these down a lot and clear these out. So he took a little Dremel with a 80 grit barrel on it, and went in there and zzz, around the tooth things, and then we put it all back together, and it worked. And it worked fine. So, crisis averted. Now, we are on 6 straight to 7 straight days of rain, so it is currently covered in a tarp. And when we see the sun again, I'll continue working on it. But right now, it's, it's sort of on hold until I can get some decent weather. But that was it. It was a grounding issue. It wasn't completing the circuit because it couldn't ground out through the bolts. Once we got that done and the chassis was grounded, boom, lit right up. Everything's cool. Everything's perfect. It all works. Boom, we're done. So that was it. So if it was a problem with the bar, in other words, if the bar wasn't conductive enough, we could have just ran an extra line over, right, drill a hole in the side of the trailer and just run a small jumper, right, from the back over. It was unnecessary. As soon as we had it ground down to where you could see the bare metal, like I did, in that other photo, it's as soon as it started to look, although he did a much neater job than I did, but, as soon as it started looking like that, then we were good to go. The funny thing is as he's doing it, he goes, wow, you really coated this. He goes, this is really not, doesn't want to come out. And he was using 80 grit. He goes, you have anything grittier? And I didn't. 80 was the roughest I had in Dremel size. I'd say I'm about 90% done. I got to get a little bit more hardware and the wood, and that's it. But again, the wood, I don't know if I want to put the wood in until I have to paint it first, right? And then it has to dry a little bit. It's, and if I'm getting pressure treated, then the pressure treated is supposed to dry before you even paint or stain it. So it's kind of I don't know. My order of operations could be a little screwy here. My nut's going well. Yeah, it's coming out good. I was talking with Speaker about it. He can't believe it. He goes, it's like a whole new friggin' trailer. But like I was telling him, I probably jumped the gun a little too fast getting it. When I bought it, it was very early in the season, and there weren't a ton of trailers up there. Certainly none for the $200 I paid for this thing, So nothing even coming close. Everything else was $600-700 and more. But since that time, and spring has sprung, and people are starting to clean their yards out, there's a lot more trailers up for sale. And for about $100 to $150 more than that, I could have got a trailer that's not quite as big, a little bit smaller, that would have been newer, didn't really need a lot of work, and, would be more usable right now. So I probably should have just waited until there was just more inventory. At the time I got it, it was early April, and it's just too early in the season. I think if I waited till like May or June, the inventory is way up online, way up from where it was. Oh, it was rough. I know exactly. Where's the fun in that? I know. And when it's done, it'll be my trailer. God damn it. I pretty much stripped it from head to toe. Did the full rust reformer converter. Did the full on, whatchamacallit there, primer. Filled everything in that was open with fiberglass filler, and then a top coat, a high gloss top coat, and a new front, and the lights came with it. He gave me the lights with it. Yeah, I was like, of course he gave me the lights, and one doesn't friggin' work, but it was me. I didn't have it grounded right. Yeah, so the wires there, that you won't see them when it's fully done, but the wire, this is the wire that goes down to that tail light, and this side light, this is the wire that goes to this side light and that tail light, and then they all come up and meet up in the front. But at some point they'll be all tied in underneath, then tied in under here, and then this plug will just be available for use when it gets plugged in. And Steve got a Squier Classic Vibe 50s Fiesta Red. Those are great guitars. Those Classic Vibes are really nice. Those are really nice guitars. And the Fiesta Red's a gorgeous color. It's one of the best colors. With the maple fretboard, right? Single ply pickguard. It's a beautiful guitar. Yeah, I know. It's satisfaction of getting the work done. I tell you, there was it's kind of interesting because I should find it. It would be worthy of a video, but a couple of years ago there was a guy on Strat Talk who wrote, I thought it could be an article in any magazine, a very well written sort of essay, big long, post about gear acquisition syndrome, and basically how you go through a period of thinking about it and then obsessing on it, and then the next thing you know you're caught up in this big, and he wasn't kidding. He had spent a lot of money, right? So maybe he had a little bit of buyer's remorse going on, felt maybe a little bit. But basically, he goes, you get caught up, you decide, geez, I'd really love, a guitar like this. And he wound up working with probably Wildwood or some big company and, designing like a Fender custom shop guitar. I'm sure that guitar cost him almost $5,000. This is a couple of years ago. And even then, a guitar like that, a full-on custom shop, with the your specs from, not a pre-production guitar, but a, one literally built to order. I think it cost him like $4,500, something like that. So it's very expensive. And then it's the big long wait, and then you finally get it, and maybe it doesn't live up to expectations or whatever. But I guess it almost felt like it's all about the chase, and then when you get it, it's like, well, now what? Now he's bored. Now he has the guitar, and he's already over it, thinking about another guitar, right? It was very well written, and I have to say, I could feel the guy's pain a little bit. He's like, and he goes, I'm not complaining about the money. I got the money to pay for it. He goes, it's not that at all. It's just that, I just go through this cycle where you just get, obsessed. The next thing you know, you're shelling out big dollars. He goes, and I can afford it. He goes, I'm not complaining. He goes, but still, it's just like, and then just being very unfulfilled at the end of it. So I was like, what are you doing? The fulfilling part is the excitement, right? It's like Christmas, right? You always forget Christmas Day. It's the excitement leading up to Christmas. That's the part you remember. And I think it was kind of the same, right? He all excited about it, but you don't know if the guitar can ever quite live up to the fantasy. You never quite live up to the expectation. It's almost why you kind of have to just go and play a guitar and just get it right then when it's an expensive guitar like that, because I feel like at least then, there's no big waiting period where you fall out of love, right? So you've ordered this thing, but now there's a 9-month wait, or a 15-month wait. Will they make it? In that time, you might be a little over it, right? By the time the damn thing shows up. Right, right, Scott. Yeah, the anticipation almost always exceeds the payout. Yeah. Yeah. Let me say it. The chase is better than the catch. Yeah. No, I tell you again. It was very well written. I could feel the guy's pain. And again, he's like, I'm not looking for sympathy. I'm just sort of like just venting my own frustration with my own personality. It's like, what the hell am I doing? And he goes, I've just gone through the cycle, and now I just find myself, a little depressed over the whole thing. I was like, I kind of felt his pain, That's why, for the longest time, I wouldn't spend a lot of money on a guitar, because it's just like, I don't know that I get the reward out of it that I would. I don't think I've ever spent more than about, on an electric guitar, I think the most I've ever spent is about $1,500. And I think on acoustic guitar is about $1,800 or $1,700. And I don't know if I could spend $2,800 or $3,800 or $4,800 on a guitar and ever really be happy with it. I'd be happy getting a $3,500 guitar for maybe $2,300. You know what I'm saying? It's like, I'd have to be able to do some mental gymnastics to be able to say, that the same guitar, the Strat that I could literally buy, like our buddy did here with the Squier Strat, for some reason I'm tacking $2,000 on it to get like almost the same exact guitar. But I'm going to convince myself I'm getting a deal because it's really like $3,500, right? The mental gymnastics. All your Carlos guitars you still play poorly. Well, that's the other thing is like, you try to throw money at a perceived problem is, if I just, and what's really the market that's like this? The photography market. The photography market. It's probably not as bad now that, the photography market's really consolidated because of phones. Right, it's down on the real hardcore enthusiasts only, but, if I just get this lens, if I just upgrade to this better camera, then all of a sudden my photographs will be better. You know what's holding me back? This shitty camera that I only spent $800 on. If I had only spent $1,800, then it would be that much better. And cameras have technical specs. So then, unlike a guitar, now you really start working your mouth. Well, I need X amount of megapixels. I don't have the right bit depth to get the right thing. And again, rather than taking your time figuring out how to shoot a good photo on your phone, right, using composition techniques and all kinds of, strategies for a better photograph, you're just throwing money at it. And oh my God, the photography industry is really bad. And I've been in that industry. I had my first camera when I was like 10. Trust me, that's that. I'm sure people out here can tell me what it is, like the bikes and cars and bikes, right? Those are both big money pits. Boats, cars, bikes, and boats. I bought a PRS GGT, pretty darn happy with it. Oh, dude, I saw one up there. They had it listed as a custom, but I realized this instantly it was a DGT. And it was gorgeous. And it was like $18.99. I'm like, it's wrong. But you wonder if that was the guitar they were going to send you, or the listing was right and they had the wrong photograph. But if that photograph was the right one, I instantly recognized, I said, that's not what they think it is. That's not a custom 22 or a custom 24, whatever they had it listed at. I'm like, that's a DGT all day long. It was gorgeous. Sold instantly. Oh my God, that's good. I think 600 is the most you've ever spent. Mike says, yeah. But if you total up all the guitars, it's like thousands, yeah. I just think that, the base to get into a pretty decent guitar, it's about $400 or $500, and then after that, it's kind of gravy, right? Bought a Les Paul, bought a Nikon 105 1.4. I'll look at you, moneybags. 1.4. I mean, I knew you had money. I didn't know you had money. For anyone who knows, the closer that number gets down to 1, the more money you're going to be rolling out in a major way. ISO is what you lust for in a new camera, yeah. High ISO settings with low noise. But I'm about a Taylor 814 CE. Was everything he dreamed. Saved for years. Played a 210 CE for years, sure. Yeah, I could see it. I have to admit, when I play my really nice Ibanez and my really nice Volas, those very expensive guitars, they're nice. Absolutely. I just don't know that you have to. Right? You could get a decent, they have a Vola like this that's, $835. I think it's a gorgeous guitar. Under $900. Most you ever spent was $950. Yeah, I feel like I think 19 might be the most I've ever spent on an electric. Only have one Ibanez, bought it in the 90s. There you go. No, I know, Michael, everything is going mirrorless. Everything is. You know what? The SLR mechanism is just too expensive to build, too complicated and expensive. And if you think about it, moving a mirror out of the way, just introduces that much more mechanical, a place for mechanical failure. So, yeah. No, it does. It seems to be going away. And mirrorless has taken over. See, do people on Craigslist in your area set their prices pie in the sky? It depends. Some people do. I find that Reverb is the most pie in the sky place. It's crazy. I do see a dude who has like, he tries to sell like Harley Bentons on there at like a $200 markup. He gets a Harley Benton that's like, $139, and he throws it up there for like $339 and says like, calls it like European inspected, top quality Chinese made gold top Les Paul. And it's like, seriously, dude? Oh yeah, we got Buddy Cat. Buddy Cat is Buddy Cat. Would I buy a Gibson Grainy now? My camera, same camera. I'm using my Logitech for the stream. I use the Lumix for the recorded stuff. Yeah, when your R9 costs more than your car, right? Yeah, put $250 straps on a Ibanez Geo. Well, coffee's on tap. That was we've been pretty much exclusively the Costco French roast. They're doing the Kirkland French roast, and it's been. I swear to God, it's the same as Starbucks. Most you ever spent was $35.75 on a 2022 Gibson /4. That's a respectable neighborhood. Yeah, the Volas on Reverb are marked up because it's leftover stock. You know, they're trying to mark it up, make a little bit of money off of it, but now they've got to compete with Vola Direct, which I think they knew was coming for a while. That's the parallel. I do like the middle mode, though. You know, that's a nice double pickup. I think it's 2 coils. People are dumping their gear they bought at COVID. I will say this, that Music Go Round was packed with gear. It was hard to even move around in there. Guitar Center is up. Last time I checked, I want to say they were at 70,000 items, but remember they had the 10% off sale. That dropped stock by a good, $3,000, 3,500. Maybe they're around 67,000 items right now. Where are they at? Right here. Wow, they're back up 69,443 items. That's a lot. Yeah. But also they were kind of reaching for the stars on price, and people are balking at it. It's like they're trying to sell Mexi Strats, used for $450, $550, $600, and people are like, I remember when they were $100 to $200 less, and they're balking at the price. Changed to the Kirkland Dark Roast. I agree. It tastes like the Pike Roast. I swear to God, it does taste like the same beans. Prices are going to plummet by August. Well, I feel like they're starting to soften big time. We looked at that a couple of weeks ago, and I'm seeing again. I think they were reaching for the stars on the prices, and people are just balking at it. They're like, "No, I'm not paying that. I'm not going to pay it." And you got to remember, guitars for the most part are luxury items. There's a lot of substitutions for guitars. You can get one, pretty cheap. Do you use a burr grinder? I do. I do use a burr grinder. So the neck shape on the Volas is 2 shapes. There's this, which is the MC. I think that's a 20 millimeter. First fret to the back, 20 millimeter. And 21 at the 12th. And then the other one, which is this one here. Hold on. We'll switch it over. This one's a little thicker. That one's... Oh, hold on. Hey, bud. And we got this one. This one is a little thicker. This is a 22 millimeter. This is lighter too because it's weight relieved. This is a 22. You can feel it too. It's not huge, but It's a 22 millimeter to the dead center, but that's flatter on the back, and this has got a more of a curve, rounder, without a doubt. You know, this is their classic neck profile. The CC, that's the modern carve, the modern profile, that's the MC. It took me a second because it's not 24 frets. Do I weigh my coffee when I brew? No. The beans only fill in a certain. You just fill the bean thing to the top and run it. That's one cup. That's one thing. It's already sort of like preset. Yeah. Here's the top on that one. So that's what the TNC is like. Clear pick guard. Be careful, I don't want to step on a cat here. You watch, he's going to come up. Just come right over, bud. Careful there, kid. That's a working piece of equipment right now. What are you doing, buddy? He wanted to jump, but it was a little far away. I know, bud, man. I know, buddy. I know, Mr. Buttles. I know I'm a bud man. Yeah, I changed this one too. What a difference. You right there, buddy? He's just cleaning himself now. guitarist Neil Zaza? I have not. Do I have a favorite pickup? No, not really. Actually, I'm going to switch back to the guitar. Watch out, bud. Hold on, bud. There you go, kid. I know. Oh, my poor bud. We got 30 minutes to go, buddy. I'd settle in if I were you. All right there, kid? I know. Buddy. Hey, what's up, speaker? Any new picks to show off? No. And you know what? I've been checking out. He's got some new stock too. I haven't been on there in a while, and I just went back recently, and he's got some cool new ones here. The Color Explosion and the Color Explosion 2. So I believe this is, it glows in the dark. Yeah. And then he's got this other one. It's like the glow in the dark fruity. This one turns colorful when you expose it to light, and then it glows. It's actually pretty crazy. You know, there's a... And then he's got a bunch of new, like Torlon, like this one here. And I want to say, yeah, this one here. And that might be it for the new Torlons. Yeah. But I love his stuff. I wouldn't mind getting another round. You know, maybe over the summer. It's a little tricky in the spring. Expenses are high. Yeah, there's the other one, maybe. Yeah, and there's another Torlon too, a 7mm. Yeah. Now, he's got some stuff out there. Yeah, the red pointer. It's around here somewhere. Is it up here? I don't know. It's around here somewhere. I bought that at like a I bought that at the elementary school. You know, like fundraising drive where they sell, like, you know, erasers and notebooks and, you know, all kinds of stuff. And I just remember getting I got the pointer, and again, it's all for the school. I think the pointer cost me like $4, $5. $7mm. I got a... Do they have any of them any longer? No, they don't. I got a 26mm. 7mm. That's quaint. Oh yeah, he's gone. That's gone. Yeah, he's sold out on that. Oh, yeah, he is. He's sold out. Wow. Yeah. Yeah, no more 26mm. Yeah, I got a 20, and I think a 26, or do I have a 26 and a 32? I'd have to look it up. Bow, bow. So with any luck, I'll have some Volas here for next week. We'll see. You did miss the trailer update. We got the wiring in. We've got the lights fully working now. And then trying to think of what would be next. We could be wood time. Could be ready to start putting the wood in. But I might add a little bit more hardware to it before I do that. Started working on my Christmas album yet. I have a Flag Day album coming out soon for Flag Day. Flag Day, what's that? Well, look it up, dude. June 14th, I believe. And wasn't that on the Reno 911 movie? At the end, the dude with the short shorts and the roller skates, and his limo shows up. They're like, "What the hell is this?" He's like, "It's my limo." And they go to his car. He has his limousine take him to his private plane, and they're like, "What?" He's like, "Yeah, my dad got me this plane for Flag Day." And his dad shows up. I think it's played by Paul Rubin, right? Pee Wee Herman. He's like, "Yeah, I got it too, one for Flag Day." Yeah, Nick Swartzen. Yeah, right. Doesn't he get the right? Paul Rubin gives him the plane for Flag Day, right? Right. They call me the Condor. You will not fail. I will not allow you to fail. Yeah, I know. The thing goes in the thing. They call me the Condor. God, everything about that movie is awesome. Do. You working for Mr. Big? Is it Mr. Big? Right. Is it Paul Rudd? And of course, what's his name there? Oh God. I can't think of his name. Ratatouille. I saw Pee-wee's Big Adventure in the movie theater. Down at the, it's probably gone. You know what? I'll bet there's not even a theater there any longer because the area is too expensive. But I saw them in Cleveland Circle. I guarantee you that. Let's take a look. Let's go. Let's check over Brighton, St. Elizabeth's. Right, where is the reservoir? Right there. Cleveland Circle. Right there. Yeah. It's a hotel. Yeah. Long gone. No more movie theater there. Oh, yeah. Oh, my God. You got a hotel like right up to the street. Yeah. Yeah, long gone. Now it's a big, giant Marriott. Yep, makes sense. There's no way they were going to sustain a friggin' movie theater. It's too expensive. That area is just like pretty goddamn ridiculously expensive. You know? So like, there's Cleveland Circle. There's where the movie theater used to be, and they put these two buildings up. But these are the homes, you know, in that area. It's I assure you, these are multi-million-dollar homes to be in. Yeah. Oh, no, it's very, very expensive to live around here. A couple of real fatties in this area too. Like, so if that was, let me get my. Oh yeah, so there's the reservoir. So it would be up around, like in here. Oh yeah, you know, house like that in the city, and a few bucks. You know, all multi-million-dollar homes. Big old mansions. Oh yeah. I can tell you that, like, just even like buying a piece of land in this area would cost you friggin' $10 million, let alone, you know, a house like that or like this. You know, nice, kind of modern, you know. Yeah, not a bad little shanty if you can afford it. And then, of course, there's, like, right next to it in this same neighborhood is the country club. Right? See, it says right there, the country club. And you're like, well, what country club? The country club? I mean, if you have to ask. And if you notice, in the country club, like right, like on, I think that's the 5th hole, is this big fat mansion here. That was a guy who, I want to say, worked for GE. You know, big GE, big wig. And then, if you look on the edge, where's the school? Yeah. So you'd have to find, no. Where's the school? Yeah, so there's Pine Manor. Come down to the end of the Pine Manor. So in other words, you got to get onto the campus. You get through the end of the Pine Manor campus, and you get all the way down to the back side of the campus, right? This is the campus here, campus dorms. And there's a private driveway to bring you into this house that's nestled in between Pine Manor College, which is here, and the country club. That's was Tom and Giselle's house. That's Tom Brady's old house. No, not Jack Welch. Different dude. Was not Jack Welch. Jack Welch lived in, he lived in like Weston. If I was a famous record producer or guitar guy, you'd live in those fancy neighborhoods. Yeah, but you know, I just feel like if I was rich, I could live there. You know, it was just like when the Celtics, you know, played the Heat. I just have a feeling that whoever scores the most points tonight is going to come away with the win. Yes, the tunnel to the country club. He couldn't get in the country club. Country club isn't for the nouveau riche, right? He's new money. They look at him and go, yes, I don't believe so. No. Indeed, yes, indeed, quite. I had a friend who worked at the country club. I've been there. So there's the main building. We would come up here. This building wasn't here. This building's new. And do they have the nest? I don't see it. But I want to say he either stayed in this building. This could be it here. It was basically a boarding house so that you wouldn't miss work. There was no excuse to ever not be at work. You had a room at this, and they had like a community bathroom in here. And he would stay in this like boarding house because there was no such thing as ever missing work. No excuse. And he was a sous chef. But there used to be a building here. I don't see it. That had this big martin nest in it. Oh yeah, there it is. There it is, you can see it. Right up there, see it? Oh, wait here. You can see it. Here, right there. Those are the birdhouses. You know, because they're that cool. Yeah, kind of a cool idea. You wouldn't need a car or insurance. Oh, absolutely. For people, they didn't want to have to worry about you like not showing up. You could stay there. You could eat there. You know, you could get a little food at the, clubhouse. What was funny was, I forget what it was, but they had they were serving something up as like crab, and it might have been the imitation crab, and like some dude there, he said lost his mind. It's like, what the hell are you serving us? I'm like, or they were putting up something and they were calling it this, but it really wasn't, and this dude wasn't having it. He was like, I'm like, I'm sure. The thing is that you have to even be a member at that club, you need a bunch of sponsors. It's probably going to cost you $250,000 in fees to join. And, most people that apply never really get in. It was very difficult for even Tom and Giselle to get in because it figured of course you want to get in, but it's not that kind of club. This is like old money, like real old Boston money. And they don't want someone who just happened to like throw it, throw together a few $100 million. They're like, yeah, so. I think they had the PGA there a couple of times. The other big one, so they've had the PGA, I think I want to say they had the PGA there twice. But that's not really it. It's really, where's 24? It's really down here. Right, the one in Norton? Is that it? Could be this one. That looks like a lot better greens. I'm going to say it's this one. There's like, they do the PGA there all the time. It was like pretty much on the regular circuit. Always had Tiger in town. Oh, no, it is. It's Mayflower money. Oh, yeah, no, they're not letting Ben Affleck in, I assure you. That place was like way old money. And not necessarily, like if you showed up there with like a big flashy Porsche, you would not fit in at that place. There were dudes in that place that like, were loaded, but just drove like, I remember one dude drove like a wood paneled freaking station wagon. Perfectly comfortable. Driving whatever. There's definitely a sort of backlash against like ostentatious displays of wealth, without a doubt. They did not want that there. Yeah, Tiger Woods, he's played that Norton. I don't know if he's ever been at the country club one. But he, because I think he might have been injured with a back injury when they were there. The first time was in the 80s. Tiger Woods wasn't a thing. And then he burst on the scene in 96? He wins his first Masters, somewhere around there, 96, 97. And then they come back again, but I think he might have been hurt when they come back, and it was like 25 years later, and so he might have been off the circuit at the time with a back injury. And then, but I know he's been at that Norton one. Exactly, Deanna. There was some dudes there. There was definitely a feeling like if you had to say you're rich, you're not rich. You're not that rich, right? If you've got to express it, then you're not the type of person for that place. It was a weird thing. I remember I'm going in there and driving in there and visiting my friend and hanging out in that boarding house and yeah, that was crazy. Having to drive real slow and having my friends be all worried about me driving fast, getting them in trouble. Yeah, I think to become a member there, you need a bunch of sponsors. And that's the hard part. People don't want to sponsor other people to join. Beijing, Mr. Herman. Mr. Herman. And I'm starving. I have not really eaten much today. I'm going to go find some dinner after this. Oh, getting hungry. Really poor if you're the only millionaire under billionaires. They probably don't allow billionaires in there. I bet most of those guys are in the Millionaires Club. The crazy one was there was a house there in Brookline, in that general area. And I think they wanted 24 at the time. It was a while ago. At the time, it was like this crazy build, and the guy had sunk all this crazy cash into it, and I think he wanted $28 million for it, which at the time was the highest amount ever asked for a house in the town. And they waited it out, and it went down to $24 million. I want to say John Henry bought it for $16 million. Had low blood sugar, get the sweats. So maybe I'll do some videos this week because I think it's going to be raining like every day. So that takes me out of the yard. Like I was telling Speaker, I have a very short window between where it's too cold to go outside and it's too hot to go outside. Exactly, I work on the Flag Day album. Flag Day, excellent, with the flags, yeah, flag. They're all hits, every single one of them say it. I'll play to me that I've had coffee, maybe. Exactly, done. Another one in the can, right there. I don't know Tesla love song. People ask for that all the time. I don't know any Tesla. Never bought a Tesla album. Never bought a Tesla car. Been raining in the Blue Mountains for an hour. Yeah, we're gonna get we're basically got a storm out over the ocean, and it's just dragging moisture in off the ocean. So the ocean's pretty cold right now. So the temperature dropped down to like 48 from 92 yesterday, and just dragging in moisture and raining. The only Tesla song I really remember was the cover, right? Didn't they cover Signs? Signs everywhere, sign, whatever that was. Do this, don't do that, don't you see the sign? Sign, everywhere, sign. Right? It's my favorite note. I kind of like this one. It's a good one. You know, it's hard to choose. There's a lot of good ones. And you can play it here. It's a great thing about, you know, where's it? Yeah, that song was a cover. Yeah. I feel like their biggest song was a cover. I feel like, you know, it's kind of like Quiet Riot. The two biggest hits were covers. Right? The two biggest hits were, well, actually, maybe Bang Your Head was bigger than Mama We're All Crazy Now. But certainly Come On Feel the Noise was their biggest hit, and it was a cover. Yeah, the Vola update is this. Put a new knob in here. It's just much better. And they're going to send over a TNC instead of the Joss Allen. And I have a discount code, 5% off of their already new low prices by using the code SFB5. There you go. Well, I mean, Tesla was no trickster. Or Kix, Kix. Yeah, Brittany Fox. Yeah, Brittany Fox, God. Faster Pussycat, yeah. I saw Keel. Now, Keel played, I want to say, at the Bayside Exposition Center at a Meatloaf might have played there too, but Keel was definitely there. Keel. And it was some event. It might have been the audio show. I don't think it was the car show, but they had, I think it was audio. The audio and speaker show. And Keel was there. Yeah, Ron Keel doing the country thing. Just like every guitar player ends up being a blues guitar player at some point. It's the only way to gracefully age. Everybody, at some point, everyone becomes a blues guitarist. Signal? I don't think so. The Kirkland Starbucks coffee beans taste pretty still. Maybe your Costco, but the ones we have here are pretty good. I don't use the Kirkland. It depends on the bag you're talking about, but the new ones that they have are pretty awesome. Really good. Whatever that new. I think it's a Kirkland French roast. Isn't Starbucks coffee burnt? I don't know what you mean by that. You mean like, well, it's a heavily oiled dark bean. So, if you drink Dunks and go, wow, that's really good coffee, we're very different people. Oh my God, is it 9:05? We should call it a night. All right, dudes. Yeah, exactly. Tastes like dirty socks. Dunks. The dirty sock blend. All right, dudes. Well, thanks so much for hanging out. Extra special thanks. Anyone who contributed. And as always, brofist to my mod squad. Hashtag brofist. Hashtag mod squad. And we will do it all again in a week. And there you go. There you have it. No, you rock. Enjoy the new emoji eyes. And I'll see you again in a week. And maybe we'll have a video out this week. We'll see. I don't know. It's a busy week. A graduation tomorrow and all kinds of stuff this week. So we'll see what's up. Well, I think we're going to have enough rain. They're going to push the whole graduation indoors tomorrow. I'll know tomorrow. We'll figure it out. All right, dudes. Have a wonderful week. You rock. Have a good night. And we'll do it all in a week. And there you have it. All right, dudes. Later. And there you go. Big thumbs up. Wow. All right.